Former president and now official Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump announced his running mate today.
Ohio Senator J.D. Vance is a relative unknown in politics, but KCCI's Ophelia Jacobson's talked to political analysts and strategists about the pick, who they say running mates matter this election.
It's an interesting match.
KCCI political analyst Dennis Goldford says J.D. Vance is a strong voice in the MAGA movement, but he wasn't always a fan of the former president.
Vance is someone who, at the beginning of Trump's political career, when he first came out to Iowa for the Iowa caucuses and competed in 2016, he was very critical of Trump.
But criticism turned to praise when the 39-year-old ran for the U.S. Senate. He was elected to represent Ohio in 2022. If Vance becomes vice president, he would be one of the youngest in American history.
You've got someone who, if he's elected, will be, after Biden, the second oldest president. And you'll have someone who's maybe the youngest or second youngest vice president if their ticket is successful.
Goldford says the task for Vance will be to not outshine the former president. He says Vance will focus on pursuing working class constituencies, but he doesn't think bringing Americans together will be top of mind for the ticket.
I don't think that the selection of Vance in and of itself indicates anything about whether the goal of the ticket will be to unify the country in some way.
The pick of Vance is not to balance the ticket or put the party together, but to double down.
Republican strategist David Oman agrees. He says the vice presidency holds a lot of significance this election because of both presidential candidates' ages. He predicts Vance will focus on battleground states to help them win in November.
And I would look for Vance to be a very loyal candidate, sticking as close to Donald Trump on policy and personally as he can going forward.
Iowa's Attorney General Brenna Bird introduced Vance at the Republican National Convention today. Tonight on the news at 10, we'll hear from her about the pick and what it means in her estimate for the Republican Party.